Hello friends, I am Dr. Manisha Devre, Assistant Professor from Department of Physics, KVN Naik College, Nasik. Today we'll start Mathematical Methods in Physics for SY BSc class, Semester 1st, Paper 1st. Friends, first chapter is Complex Number, which includes Introduction to Complex Numbers, Rectangular, Polar and Exponential Forms of Complex Number, Argand Diagram, Algebra of Complex Numbers using Argand Diagram, De Moivre's Theorem, Power, Root and Log of Complex Numbers, Trigonometric, Hyperbolic and Exponential Functions, and at last, applications of complex numbers to determine velocity and acceleration in curved motion. Friends, first of all, we'll consider the quadratic equation as ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where this a, b and c all are constant. The root of this equation is equal to x is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac upon twice a, where the term b square minus 4ac in this equation is discriminant. Now we'll see what is meant by complex number. The complex number z is defined as z is equal to x plus iy, where x and y are real numbers and I is equal to minus 1. The number x is called as the real part of the complex number and y is called as the imaginary part of the complex number. The real part of z is x and imaginary part of z is y. So for example, if z is equal to 5 minus 7i, then in this complex number, the real number is z, real number of z is 5 and imaginary number of z is minus 7. So, in case of complex number, if real part of this complex number is 0, then that complex number is purely imaginary number, because in that case, real part is 0, that is x is equal to 0. On the contrary, if in case of complex number, if this imaginary part is 0, then that complex number will become purely real number, because this part will be 0. So z is equal to x. X is a real number. So the complex number is purely real number. Now we'll see about the modulus of complex numbers. The complex number z is defined as z is equal to x plus iy, where x and y are the real numbers and I is equal to minus 1. Now the complex conjugate of z is z bar, which is equal to x minus iy, where z is x plus iy and z bar is x minus iy. So if we'll take the product of z and z bar, then for z we can write x plus iy and for z bar is equal to x minus iy. So their product z bar, it is always positive number, because the product will be multiplication of these two brackets. So the multiplication of these two brackets will be x square plus y square. So it is always a positive number and it is written as a mod of z bar. The quantity mod of z is called as the modulus of z bar. So mod of z will be square root of this quantity, that is square root of x square plus y square. The modulus of the complex number is also known as absolute value if, for example, z is equal to 3 minus 2i. In that case, its mod will be square root of this 3 square plus minus 2 square. So it will be square root of 13. Now we'll see the equality of two complex numbers. Two complex numbers are said to be equal if and only if their real and the imaginary parts both are separately equal. The two complex numbers, for example, z1 is equal to x1 plus iy1 and z2 is equal to x2 plus iy2. In that case, the real part of this z1 is x1 and real part of this z2 is x2. So, whenever x1 is equal to x2 and their imaginary part, that is y1 and y2, both are equal, then in that case, these two complex numbers are said to be equal numbers. If z1 is equal to x1 plus iy1 and z2 is equal to x2 plus iy2, these are the two complex numbers, then there are different mathematical operations are carried out. First of all, we'll see the addition of the two complex numbers. In that case, suppose z1 plus z2, these are the two complex numbers. Then for z1 it is x1 plus iy1 and for z2 it is x2 plus iy2. So if we want to add these two vectors, then we have to add the real part of these two vectors, these two complex numbers, and imaginary part of these two complex numbers. Then we can write it as x1 plus x2 plus, now in these two quantities I will be common, so I into y1 plus y2. Now we'll see the subtraction of two complex numbers. Again, as we know that z1 is x1 plus iy1 and z2 is x2 plus iy2, we have to subtract them. So first of all, we have to subtract the real parts and then we have to subtract the imaginary parts. So x1 minus x2 plus iy1 minus iy2. Now we'll take I outside, then it will become plus I into bracket y1 minus y2. Now if z1 and z2 both are equal, then z1 minus z2 will be, as z1 is equal to z2 is equal to z, then z1 minus z2 is equal to z minus z, that is 0 plus 0I, that is 0. Thus the complex number is equal to 0 when x1 is equal to 0 and y1 is equal to 0. Now we'll see the multiplication of two complex numbers. As we know that z1 is x1 plus iy1 and z2 is equal to x2 plus iy2, then their product will be product of the two real numbers, that is x1 x2 plus product of these two complex numbers, that is I square into y1 y2 plus x1 iy2 plus x2 iy1. Again in these two quantities we'll take I outside, so it will become, as I square is equal to minus 1, so here there will be minus sign. So it is x1 x2 minus y1 y2, and from these two quantities we'll take I out common, so it will become I into x1 y2 plus x2 y1. Now if again both the complex numbers are equal, then their product will be x square minus y square plus twice I xy, because as x1 is equal to x2, so it will become x square, and y1 is equal to y2 is equal to y, so it will become y square, and here it will become xy, and here it will become xy, so xy plus xy, it will become twice xy, and this I as it is. So the multiplication of two complex numbers which are same, then their magnitude will be x square minus y square plus twice I xy. Now we'll study about the division of two complex numbers. Now here is your z1, which is a complex number which is equal to x1 plus iy1, and here it is z2, which is equal to x2 plus iy2. Now if we want to find out the division of these two complex numbers, then we cannot divide this z1 directly with z2. It is not possible unless the right hand side is converted in the form of real and the imaginary part separately. For this purpose, the right hand side is multiplied and divided by the complex number, that is the complex conjugate of this denominator, that is x2 minus iy2, and then we'll get, and it is symbolically z2 bar, and also z is the complex conjugate of z bar. The other properties of complex numbers are commutativity of addition, that is z1 plus z2 is equal to z2 plus z1. Second property is commutative property of multiplication, that is z1 z2 is equal to z2 z1. Associative law of addition is z1 plus z2 plus z3 is equal to z1 plus z2 plus z3. Then associative law of multiplication is z1 z2 into z3 is equal to z1 into z2 z3. Then distributive law of multiplication will be z1 plus z2 into z3 is equal to, now we have to open this bracket, z1 z3 plus z2 z3. Now we'll study about the rectangular, polar and exponential forms of complex numbers. First of all, we'll study the rectangular form of complex number. In this form, x plus iy of the complex number, it is expressed by x and y rectangular coordinates, and hence it is known as rectangular form of complex number. The Argand diagram shows that OP is equal to, here is the P point which is having the coordinates x and y. This is the x coordinate and here it is y coordinate. So OP is equal to square root of x square plus y square, which is equal to mod of z. Now we'll see the polar form of the complex number. In two-dimensional Cartesian coordinates, if x and y are the Cartesian coordinates, then in the polar form, the polar coordinates are r and theta. In this figure, OX and OY are the rectangular coordinate axis with O as origin, and consider the point P dash which is at a distance of R from origin. So OP dash is equal to R. Let theta be the angle made by this R with the x axis. So as this is a right angle triangle, we can say x is equal to R into cos of theta and y is equal to R into sin theta. So x square plus y square will be R square by adding these two values. Using the polar coordinates r theta, the complex number z corresponding to p dash is given as z is equal to x plus iy. Now we'll substitute the value of x as r cos theta and y as r sin theta. So the value of this complex number z will be r cos theta plus I into r sin theta. So we'll take r outside and it will become r into cos of theta plus I into sin of theta. Both r and theta are real numbers. Hence, the z expressed in terms of the polar coordinates, and polar coordinates are r and theta, and hence this form is known as polar form, and the complex conjugate of this complex number z bar is equal to x minus iy. So in that case, x is your r cos theta and y is your r sin theta. So the complex conjugate of z will be z bar is equal to r cos theta minus I into r sin theta. If we'll take the product of z and z bar, then it will become z square mod of z square, which is equal to z bar, and in that case the magnitude will become r square into cos of theta plus I sin theta into cos of theta minus I sin theta. So it will become r square as it is, and the product of these two brackets will be cos square theta minus sin square theta. So if we'll take square root of this modulus of z square, then it will become mod of z is equal to r. Thus r is the modulus of complex number z. The Argand diagram gives us that cos of theta is equal to x upon r, where r is square root of x square plus y square, and sin theta is y upon r, that is square root of x square plus y square, and the quantity theta is called as the phase angle or argument of the complex number. Now we'll study about the exponential form of the complex number. Consider the complex number z is equal to r cos theta plus r I into r sin theta, which is the polar form of complex number, where r is the modulus and theta is the argument. According to the Maclaurin series of expressions, e raised to n is equal to 1 plus n upon 1 factorial plus n square upon 2 factorial plus n cube upon 3 factorial and so on, where n is the number. Substituting n as I theta, we can write this e raised to I theta is equal to 1 plus I theta upon 1 factorial plus I theta bracket square upon 2 factorial plus I theta bracket cube upon 3 factorial and so on. Also, we know that cos of theta is equal to 1 minus theta square upon 2 factorial plus theta raised to 4 upon 4 factorial and so on, where I square is equal to minus 1 and I raised to 4 is equal to plus 1, and sin theta is equal to theta minus theta cube upon 3 factorial plus theta raised to 5 upon 5 factorial and so on. And I into sin theta is equal to I into, we have to multiply throughout this equation by I. So it will become I theta plus I theta cube upon 3 factorial plus I theta raised to 5 upon 5 factorial and so on. So addition of these two will become cos theta plus I sin theta is equal to 1 plus I theta upon 1 factorial plus I theta square upon 2 factorial plus I theta cube upon 3 factorial. This is known as Euler's formula, and so the complex number becomes z is equal to r cos theta plus I sin theta, that is r as it is, and cos theta plus I sin theta is e raised to I theta. This form of z is called as the exponential form, and as before, r is the modulus and theta is the argument. In this form, z is expressed as the product of the real part, that is r, and the imaginary part e raised to I theta. Now we'll see Argand diagram in detail. The pair of numbers xy can be expressed on the xy plane, where x is called as the abscissa and y is called as the ordinate. Similarly, we can represent the complex number on the plane called as Argand plane or the complex plane. Similar to the x-axis and y-axis in the two-dimensional geometry, there are two axes in Argand plane. The axis which is horizontal is called as real axis, and the axis which is vertical is called as imaginary axis. The complex number x plus iy, which corresponds to the ordered pair xy and is represented geometrically as the unique point xy in the xy plane. For example, the complex number 2 plus 3i corresponds to the order pair 2 and 3 geometrically. Similarly, minus 3 plus 2i corresponds to the order pair minus 3, 2. The complex number in the form 0 plus ai, where a is the real number, will lie on the imaginary axis, and the complex number in the form a plus 0i, where a is the real number, will lie on the real axis. It is obvious that the modulus of complex number x plus iy and square root of x square plus y square is the distance between the origin and the point xy. The conjugate of z, x plus iy, is z is equal to x minus iy, which is represented as x minus y in the Argand plane. The point x minus y is the mirror image of point xy across the real axis in Argand plane. Such geographical or the geometrical representation of the complex number on the complex plane is called as Argand diagram, and the point of the complex plane is shown by the point P, xy, or P of z. Now we'll see the algebra of complex numbers using mathematical and Argand diagram in detail. First of all, we'll study about the addition of two complex numbers. Consider the two complex numbers. First is z1 is equal to x1 plus iy1 and z2 is equal to x2 plus iy2, and which were represented on the Argand diagram by the points P and Q respectively. The sum z1 plus z2 is the complex number z is equal to x plus iy. Now here the point R represent the sum of which is found by constructing the parallelogram OPRQ, where OP and OQ are the position vectors of the point P and Q respectively. Then according to the law of parallelogram of two vectors, OR is equal to OP plus PR, but PR and OQ both are equal, so we can write OR is equal to OP plus OQ. OR is equal to x plus iy, which is equal to x1 plus iy1, that is OP, and OQ is x2 plus iy2. So we can write x plus iy as z, x1 plus iy1 as z1, and x2 plus iy2 as z2. So z is equal to z1 plus z2. The sum of two sides of the triangle is always greater than third side. So OP plus PR is always greater than OR. That is OP plus OQ is greater than OR. So Z is equal to Z1 plus Z2. The length of the side on the Argand diagram is the modulus of the corresponding complex number. So mod of Z1 plus mod of Z2 is always greater than mod of Z. If the points P and Q are on the same straight line, then OP plus OQ is equal to OR. So mod of Z1 plus mod of Z2 is equal to mod of Z. Also, the sum of the complex numbers Z1, Z2, Z3 and so on is obtained by constructing the polygon of n sides according to the law of polygon of number of vectors. Now we'll study about the subtraction of complex number. Consider the two complex numbers, that is z1 is equal to x1 x1 plus iy1 and z2 is equal to x2 plus iy2, which are represented on the Argand diagram by points P and Q respectively. The sum of z1 minus z2 is also the complex number z is equal to x plus iy. The line OQ is produces so that the length ON is equal to OQ. Here is your OQ. We have to extend this line in the opposite direction, so it will become ON having the same length. So in vector notation, OQ is equal to ON, and also ON is equal to minus OQ. ON is the position vector n, which corresponds to the complex number minus z2, and the point S representing the different z is equal to z1 minus z2, which is obtained by constructing the parallelogram OPSN. OP bar and ON are the position vectors of the point P representing the complex numbers z1, and n is representing the complex number z2. According to the law of parallelogram of vectors, OS is equal to ON bar plus NS bar, but NS is equal to OP. So we can write OS is equal to ON plus OP. Therefore, OS is equal to OP plus ON. That is Z is equal to Z1 plus Z2. Z is represented as X plus IY, and Z1 is X1 uh, plus IY1, and Z2 is X2 plus IY2. So their subtraction will be X1 minus X2 plus I into Y1 minus Y2. Now we'll study about the multiplication of complex numbers. Consider the two complex numbers Z1 is equal to X1 plus IY1 and Z2 is equal to X2 plus IY2, which are represented on this Argand diagram by the points P and Q respectively. On the Argand diagram, using the polar and the exponential form of the complex numbers as Z1 is equal to X1 plus IY1, in the polar form, we can write this as R1 into bracket cos of theta 1 plus I into sine of theta 1, and in the exponential form, we can write it as R1 into e raised to I theta 1. Similarly, the second complex number Z2, we can write it as X2 plus IY2. In the polar form, it can be written as R2 into cos of theta 2 plus I into sine of theta 2, and in the exponential form, it can be written as R2 into e raised to I theta 2. So if we want to find out the multiplication of these two complex numbers, then it will become Z1 Z2, which is equal to, we have to multiply these two now, R1 R2, that is R1 into e raised to I theta 1 into R2 e raised to I theta 2. So we'll multiply this R1 and R2 and e raised to I theta 1. So I will be common, so it will be e raised to I theta 1 plus theta 2. The product of two complex numbers is always complex number, and its real part is R1 R2 and imaginary part is e raised to I theta 1 plus theta 2. In this above equation, giving the products concludes that mod of Z1 Z2 is equal to R1 R2, which is equal to mod of Z1 into mod of Z2, and argument of Z1 Z2 is equal to theta 1 plus theta 2, which is equal to argument of Z1 plus argument of Z2. Thus, the product of complex numbers Z1 and Z2 is represented by the point R, which has the polar coordinates R1, R2, and theta 1 plus theta 2. The point R is obtained by drawing the line OR such that OR is equal to OP into OQ, which is equal to R1, R2. And it makes an angle equal to theta 1 plus theta 2 with the axis of real numbers, real axis. And this method is also applicable to the product of n complex numbers, such as mod of Z1, Z2, Z3 up to Zn is equal to mod of Z1 into mod of Z2 into mod of Z3 up to mod of Zn. And the argument of Z1, Z2, Z3 up to Zn is equal to argument of Z1 plus argument of Z2 plus argument of Z3 up to argument of Zn. Now we'll study about the division of complex numbers. Consider the two complex numbers, that is Z1 and Z2. Z1 is given as X1 plus IY1 and Z2 is given as X2 plus IY2, which are represented on the Argand diagram by the points P and Q respectively. On the Argand diagram, using the polar and the exponential form of the complex numbers as Z1 is equal to X1 plus IY1, which is equal to, in the polar form, it is written as R1 into cos of theta 1 plus I into sine of theta 2, and in the exponential form it is written as R1 e raised to I theta 1. Where the second complex number Z2, it is written as X2 plus Iy2. In the polar coordinate, it can be written as R2 into cos of theta 2 plus I into sine of theta 2. And in the exponential form, it is written as R2 into e raised to I theta 2. The quotient of Z1 and Z2 is given by Z1 upon Z2 is equal to R1 e raised to I theta 1 upon R2 e raised to I theta 2, which is equal to R1 upon R2 e raised to I theta 1 minus theta 2. These are the real parts of this complex number. So it will be R1 upon R2 as it is. And this e raised to I theta 1 minus e raised to I theta 2. So I will take outside, it will become theta 1 minus theta 2. The quotient of the complex number Z1 and Z2 is the complex number, and it is and its real part is R1 upon R2, and the imaginary part is e raised to I theta 1 minus theta 2. And the above equation gives us that mod of Z1 upon Z2 is equal to R1 upon R2, which is equal to mod of Z1 upon mod of Z2, and argument of Z1 upon Z2 is equal to argument of Z1 minus argument of Z2. Thus, the complex number z1 upon z2 is represented by the point r, which has the polar coordinates r1 upon r2 and theta 1 minus theta 2. The point r is obtained such that OR is equal to OP upon OQ, which is equal to r1 upon r2, and it makes an angle of theta 1 minus theta 2 with the real axis. So I hope, friends, you understand all the mathematical algebra of this complex number. In the next lecture, we'll study about the De Moivre's theorem. Thank you.